So let's talk about the guys. Right. Guy talk.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice. These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Paul, Spheric Reptiles, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's been commenting on the videos lately. And I definitely encourage you to like them and subscribe them as well. Maybe hit the notification button so that you can get an update on our videos that we post. As we move further and forward in our mission to create animals that just look different, or just to create animals that we're excited about, because as Will from Flawless Exotics said, we're our best customers. So we're definitely trying to create animals that are interesting to us. So this reptile room tour of just our male rack, which is a new addition for us. We recently separated all of our breeder males from our breeder females in an attempt to keep them eating and just kind of keep the hormones from raging so hard from being housed right next to them, right? As we grow and we get a larger space, because we will be getting a larger space, we're going to definitely house these males, maybe in this, but definitely a different rack that's spaced out away so that the pheromones or hormones that the females are exuding to get the males riled up, it won't be so prevalent, and make it to where they can stay on feed. In particular, just going into it before I start showing the snakes, when we're breeding our males, we always switch them from rats to mice. It seems like that the jumbo mice, they always eat them. I mean, it's like we start them on it when we start pairing them up, and they stay eager for those jumbo mice. We only have one that's still eager for the weaned rats. Without anything else, guys, I'm gonna show you some snakes, and I want you to let me know what you think about them. We're just gonna show you 10 of our breeder males, or potentially soon to be breeder males, and then you just let us know which one you like the best. And you'll be able to see what we're talking about when we say get powerhouse males, double recessive males, or visual males, or whatever it is, so that you can move your project forward. Because of course, you can pair, like we have 10 of these, we could pair each one of these up with like 4 females in a season. I think that that's a comfortable amount, and then we can produce what we really want. So hey, without anything else, let's get right to it. So as with all the other videos, I'm just gonna start out at the top, and I'll tell you what the snakes are when I bring them out. The first one we'll be showing is a Pastel Red Jean Hypo. We call him Michael Jackson. Let me make sure I keep everything in focus so that you can actually see him when I take him out. So this is Michael Jackson right here. And of course you can see the red jean that's there. So as I get him to come out a little bit, you really can see he's definitely breeder size, over 700 grams now. And he's a hypo, and he's a pastel red jean. So the red jean you can see shining through, especially on the tops of the dorsals. So you can see that there. And so that's what we got here. We don't have him paired up with anything right now, but we got some hypo females that are growing up, and we're gonna get them all situated and cozied up and that type of thing here before you know it. But all right, let me get on to the next one, guys. I'm gonna try to run right through this pretty fast, I hope, so I don't have to do any additional editing. So the next one we have is our Pastel Orange Dream. And I'm gonna make sure I have this to where you can see him. I'm gonna take his little hide out. I get these at Walmart. I just cut holes in. It seems to keep them situated. And if you have any food-driven animals, then it gives you a way to check on the cage without the risk of getting bitten. But this is OJ. He's one of our older ball pythons, but you can see that he's a Pastel Orange Dream. And he's very, very vibrant. You see the Orange Dream is right here, all in the patterns right there, the pastel, of course. And he loves mice. I mean, he loves mice more than anything else. And that's what actually got us to the idea of not trying to fight that and just really going with what they like. And we found that, if they're not going to max out at these 3,000 gram beasts, then it really helps us to have an animal that can be sustained on mice as well. So that's what we got right now for OJ, as we call it. OJ did it, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, let me get on to the next one, guys, before OJ tries to escape. All right, so this next one is Kai, named after the Jungle Book snake character. He is our pastel hypo head. He's a pastel hypo head desert ghost. I'm sorry, guys. So he's almost up to size. He's right around 600 grams now. So you can see in him, he's hypo, of course. He has a lot of the same looks as Michael Jackson, the pastel red jean hypo. You can see the blushing there. And just to show you guys what the difference is in Desert Ghost and hypo. So with hypo, you get an all over ashy look, and it's still kind of bright, but it's not as popping out like with the Desert Ghost. But of course, you know, the pastel is on top of the head. And the reason why we bought pastel in these animals is because we didn't know which direction we wanted to take them ultimately, and crossing with some of the other strains of males, incomplete dominant and recessive traits. And we'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I know it's an odds game where you get pastel where you don't want it and you get it where you do. But at the end of the day, we didn't think that it would hurt our projects, and pastel is still a beautiful incomplete dominant trait. Maybe not in all the animals, but for what we're trying to do, we feel like pastel would work in half the animals that we wanted to create. So this is Kai. I'm going to go ahead and put him up. And of course, so to illustrate this with Kai, he is hypo head desert ghost. So this is a double recessive male. And what I always try to stress is if you're going to shoot for the recessives, it's more economical for you to try to get it in your males because they end up being cheaper overall. But, you know, that cost savings, you can spread that out amongst multiple females. So he could actually end up going to about 4 females and passing all those genes on. So that's why we stress that. But I'm going to go ahead and get to the next animal. All right, Mr. Kai, I'm going to go and put you back up, man. Go back to reading Jungle Book or something. So our next one that we have is Jetty. And Jetty is a clown pied visual male, right? So, and we got him last year, and he's already up to size. Now, I don't know why he's a monster eater. Now, whenever we get animals, and with each one I'm going to talk about something different, but with every animal, if you get it and it's a strong breeder, a strong eater, then the only thing I can attribute that to is the person who bred the animal. So, like Dave Levinson, without a doubt, and this animal did not come from Dave Levinson, this came from Spheric Reptiles, and I give them a shout out as well. But from Dave, man, every animal I've received from Custom Scales has been a monster feeder. When I say monster, I mean monster. So, but anyway, let me go ahead and get Jetty out. And he's a clown pied. And of course, you've seen him before on videos and things like that, but this is how he looks. He's all white. He's a high white expression pied, which is not what we typically wanted. But when we were trying to get a visual male, we figured that we would go with the all white version. And then we could always add in Inchy from the female end because we have a lot of Inchy. And Inchy introduces patterns. So we felt like any pairing that we did with that, then it will be a plus and we can get that pattern back. So this is what we got right here, guys. We got Jetty, the clown pied male. And I'm going to go ahead and stick him back up. And I like having the hides in there for him as well. A big water dish, as you can see, so that they can stay hydrated. Keeping this clean is more important than keeping that clean, but I tend to overdo it because I have OCD. So our next animal, this is the one that actually, and you can tell the size difference in those that eat rats and those that eat mice. But this is Jax, our red stripe clown. And he's pretty big. He's already over 1,000 grams. So, you know, this is what you get when you feed an animal weaned rats. And let me see, I'm making sure you guys can see his head. And so Jax is breeding for us right now. We got him going to a black pastel head clown, as well as a yellow belly piebald to try to make some, you know, we're trying to make either some red stripe black pastel clowns or some yellow belly red stripe double head clown pied. So that's what we got right here. And this is Jax. He's a great feeder. He's always been a great feeder. And we got him from JCC Reptiles if you guys were trying to get something like that. So I have no fear of shouting out another breeder because that's part of it, right? I got to get these animals from somewhere. So it'll be impossible to think that I created all of these on my own. So if I trust them enough for my own, then I feel like I can endorse them to trust, you know, so that other people can trust them as well. So this next one we got from Ball Brilliance, and it is a TSK Exanic Hypo. And you can see just how pretty he is. I'm just gonna let you guys look at him like that for a little bit. His name is Morpheus, after the Matrix character, Lawrence Fishburne's character from the Matrix. So in the beginning, you know, we've been trying to pair him up as well to some of the younger females just to get them used to being a male around them, but also to make sure that they continue to feed. Because what we've seen is that those subadults, they typically get off food, but if they have a male around them, we see that they keep staying encouraged to eat. And so that's what we want to do right there, guys. But this is definitely a beautiful animal, double recessive for the TSK Exanic gene, as well as the hypo. So you can see just how big he is. We just recently got him. We did an unboxing on him. So this is what we got right here for one of our other superstar males that'll be plugged in. And there just aren't that many of them around. So when we saw it, we thought we should jump right on it. Now we have, he had a little bit of urates in there. I had to take them out. So now we have Bruce Wayne, get some hand sanitizer real quick. Now we have Bruce Wayne, our Batman clown. And you just saw the previous video. These are his babies, right? So he's definitely a sweet boy, but I just want to show you guys how big he is. He is definitely huge, like just really big. I know that the screen is taking up a lot, but he is definitely a big boy. He's so big, he's 1,500 grams. And so I'm just trying to keep everything centered here so that you can just get a good look at the girth that he has and everything else. But definitely a good breeder for us. Not shy at all. Typically, whenever we open up his cage, he thinks it's time for sex or it's time for food. So not a bad life for a ball python. So Bruce Wayne, I'm gonna go ahead and put you back up. It's not sexy time, it's not food time, and I don't want you to get confused between either of the two. So for a lot of people that are breeding ball pythons right now, you're seeing a lot of things happen. So we're seeing the market come back. We're seeing that people are having a little bit more money in their pockets for whatever reason. I don't know, I don't make the rules, but it is the way it is. So I just encourage you to stay strong in it and just, you know, stick to your projects. This is an excellent time for you to work on your projects. But moving on to the next snake, we have Casper, the Phantom Clown, and he produced our very first clutch. And you can see what I love about the Phantom gene. Right here, you can see the sharp contrast between the underside. As you move up to the dorsal, you can see that widening. So this is also known as the Mystic. The Phantom and the Mystic, those are interchangeable. They proved that through genetic testing. And this guy just loves mice. That's all he wants to eat. He used to be a big rat eater, but now he just eats mice. So he's definitely like a big puppy dog. He's one of the easiest snakes that we have. He always has been. We picked him up from BC's Balls back, I think in 2022. So, and even when we picked him up, he had good size on him. So he does good without a hide, so we don't have one in there. But this is definitely one of, as a baby, he was one of the prettiest snakes that we had. But you see, most ball pythons do brown out. He's happened to maintain that same contrast that we were looking for, so we thought it'd be better if we passed him over. So remember, we bred him to a Huffman, a Pastel Huffman, so that we could get some Pastel Huffman Phantom head clowns. So, all right, let me move right on to the next one. So Pepper is one of the snakes that's the oldest in our collection for us, right? So there's snakes, and then there's snakes that are older for us. Let me adjust this camera. So he has not been bred yet. He has always been a very good feeder. This is one of the ones that we got from Custom Scales, and you can just see how bright and pretty he is. And listen to that. Listen to him hissing. That's the way he's done from day one, like our boa constrictor, Casey Bunny. So you can see here, Pepper is a great example of a pastel piebald. he just looks like his head stamp doesn't even look pastel, but his body is. So that's one of the things that really impressed me in the beginning. Plus he's had hypo, and he's about 1,100 or 1,200 grams, somewhere in between there. And we're just really trying to keep his body weight at that size. So this is Mr. Pepper. I don't know why we called him Pepper. I think because he has a spicy attitude. And, you know, hey, this is one of our OGs in the game. We're going to eventually, when we just hunker down and say we're going to make pieds, we're trying to create some other things first. But whenever we do, probably in 2 years, he's going to be our go-to guy. So our other one, Tony Romo, the pastel pod, we actually sold him at Repticon because we knew that we wouldn't want to back up to Pepper. Last but not least, we have a pastel yellow belly desert ghost. And you see all of these little couplets I have in there. I put that in there whenever I move the animals to a larger enclosure so that they can feel more secure. I just crowd it up real good because this is what ball pythons like anyway. Seems like the more things they can come in contact with, the more happy they are. So I don't know why that's that way, but I'll go ahead and show you guys him. So this is Prince. Yeah, like from Minnesota, Purple Rain Prince. We got a Michael Jackson and we got a Prince. So you can see Prince looks damn near purple. He is a very good example of desert ghost. So when we had him genetic tested, he proved positive for homozygous A and C. And so this is a really good example for us. You can see just how much brighter that desert ghost makes everything. But, you know, I think pastel works really good with desert ghost. And so that's what we have here. We have this pastel yellow belly desert ghost, and he's almost up to breeding size and being about 600 grams. I don't want to pair him up until he gets close to 1,000 grams because we have time to wait. We're trying to throw our double recessive traits in first, and then we're going to start putting in the single gene recessive traits or just adding in, like if we need an animal with yellow belly, we'll add in this guy so that we can get that if it already has desert ghost, and we can produce some more vibrant animals. So, man, this just showing the snakes off just really brings back a lot of the time that we've put into this and a lot of the effort as well. You guys sticking with us through all the videos and the growth from day one, well, we really appreciate that. We found the reptile community to be extremely receptive to new people. I've not had any bad run-ins. I've only gotten really good advice. But I'm really serious, and so whenever I talk to someone, I come prepared. I'm not just asking, oh, is that a pretty snake or not? I'm asking specific questions. So, but you know, it doesn't have to be like that, guys. But again, the purpose of this channel is to educate people and to just put a different type of perspective out there, because this is the practice of keeping reptiles. All this stuff just takes practice and it takes a little research. And if you put forth the effort, I think that you can get it. So that's what our plan is. We have a very good business plan, but I'm really glad that I was able to show you our breeder rack for our males, the guys. And, you know, if nothing else, guys, let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And enjoy the time that you spend with your reptiles, and enjoy the time that you have with your family. Thank you.